Hello everybody, Jim Malone coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Well, interesting stuff today. The market is still moving up. That's a good thing. It looks like Cathie Woods did an interesting trade today. She sold some for Tesla, and she bought AMD and TSM. So this is very interesting. I'm looking at both of the stocks myself for potentially, selling some of my Tesla holdings and possibly buying some of these stocks, because it does look like she might be onto something here, and she does have a very good track record. Let's look at the overall market. Basically, today we're looking at a market that is moving up. The NASDAQ up just very slightly, 0.05. The S&P was up 0.38, and it's incorrect here, but the Dow is up as well. So pretty interesting when it comes to it. Now here is a stock. This is TSM. This is the one that Cathie Woods was buying, and I took a look at it. Kind of for a potential buy myself here. Let's see if we can get that up. Oh no, wrong one. There we go. Okay, so this is TSM. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, and I did a little bit of a markup on this one. Interestingly enough, it is pulled back to the 21-day line. Let me just pull this up, TSM on the live chart, see if I can get that up there. And there we go. Okay, so this is the live chart for TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. Gone to a different charting system here, so hopefully it doesn't bother you too much, but kind of giving you an idea of where it's going. Taiwan Semi is orderly pulled back from about 110 all the way down to about 100, and this is interesting because it definitely is getting some support here at the 20-day line. Normally I use the 21-day line, but I've got to readjust this system, but it does look like it's getting some support here. So I might be a buyer. I might be a buyer of TSM here just based on that. It's a very interesting thing. Now, with TSM, we're looking at a large chip manufacturer. They make about 40 or 50% of all of the world's very high-tech chips. NVIDIA uses them, and a lot of other people do, AMD as well. And basically, it's looking pretty good. I mean, the relative strength on this one, 86, that's pretty strong. And I did do the markup on the chart here, and with the markup on the chart, we're looking at it coming in. Basically, it pulls back to the 21-day line, which is looking good, and I definitely think that's a place to potentially buy it. That definitely is a place to buy it. If we kind of look a little bit, zoom in a little bit on that here, you can see that we've come back down. We have a we have the 50-day moving average below the 20-day moving. That's correctly stacked. And it does look like we're getting some support here. So we shall see if this is a reversal here. But I am definitely very interested in that buy by Cathie Wood. So, I do have some profit in Tesla, so I may be doing that. Now, here's the second one that she's buying that I'm kind of interested in as well. It's AMD, which everybody pretty much knows as well. This one also is pulling back to its 50-day moving average. Let's look at AMD here. Close up on AMD, and see if we can get that. There we go. So this is AMD, the chart for AMD, and where we got support here is at the 50-day line. So again, this one's bouncing too. Nice upward trend here, and it does look very good. So. This may be a buy for me as well. So just kind of putting it out there. Let me just show you kind of what I do have. Let's see if I can. Let's see what I do have. What I do have today. I do have quite a few different positions. I've been buying. I'm almost 100%. I'm almost 100% invested. Currently, I'm in Tesla. It was up today. I'm in Palantir. I want to show you that one just in a second. Alphabet, GOG. This has been a little bit disappointing. Down a little bit today. Adobe. I'm probably going to be selling Adobe. I like it, but I just want to make some room for some faster moving stocks. Which has done quite well in the last few days. It's down a little bit today. NVIDIA, I'm in NVIDIA. I'm also in AI. Now, C3 AI has been a big winner for me so far. I'm thinking possibly of taking profits. I'm not sure, but just in the last few days, it's really, really done well. And I also have, I've also moved into Extreme Networks, EXTR. It's up today. And IoT, which is Internet of Things. So really kind of the theme here has been sort of the AI internet kind of thing. So I'm going to look at Palantir just really quickly here. This is one that I do own. I have been increasing my position in Palantir, and definitely something, it may give us another opportunity if it can continue to get support here. This is Palantir, and it did come down and then to 14, and then it's moved up, and it does look like it's now clearing, and it does look like it's settling right at about the 20-day line, and that's at 1520. So this is Palantir, and this one does look pretty good. If you kind of zoom back here, we can zoom back a little bit, kind of show you what's been going on. We've come way out of the base. You can see initially it came way up here, pulled back down. This was sort of been with a lot of the stocks, and now it's started to get some strength. So we shall see where it ends up, but right now definitely like Palantir as a stock. So all right, well, let's get into it with everybody. Thank you for holding here, and Sandeep, thank you very much. Let's look at Tesla, and let's see, I'm going to go to a different I'm going to go to a different I'm going to go to my normal charts here for Tesla here, and let's bring that in. Go. And this is Tesla. Basically, with Tesla, what's going on here, of course, we came back down to the 21-day line. We bounced, and we're moving up. We now have the golden cross on Tesla. This is one of the reasons I don't know if I want to sell it, but I'm not sure. We do have the golden cross on Tesla, which is definitely an interesting thing going on here. Where the 50-day line is moving above that 200-day line, and so that's showing a lot of strength in the shares. If we just go over to the other charts here, let's look at Tesla. Trying my new little bit fancier charts here, so let's take a look at that quick. There we go, and this is Tesla here. I'm going to put it out for everybody that's looking on TikTok. Very not, let's go back to kind of the first of the year. As you can see, it's come way up. Yeah, there we go. It's come way up. I'm going to go back, basically show you kind of why this is looking good. What I'm doing here is I'm zooming out a little bit here. The all-time high of Tesla is about 400, and what happened is it basically based, and then basically in the first around January 1st of 2022, it made its low, and now it's moved back up. It's moved back up. Now the next kind of level that we have to really could be concerned about is right about here. It's about 313. I don't have my labels on here, but this is the next resistance. What happens? It came up, it pulled back, and I think it's going to get a nice move up to about 313. So I'm sort of hanging in there. I'm going to sell part of my shares, I believe, and buy some of the chip stocks. But still, it's Tesla is moving very, very nicely, and it's moving very, 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 very well. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get on with some of the people from TikTok here. Let's just take a quick gander. Okay. Oh, nice. Very, very nice. Oh, wait a minute. Stuart, I bought Tesla at 153 and 180. Wow, that's really good. That's really good. That's very, very good. I definitely think that we have a little bit of movement. I think it's going to probably peak out at about 317. That's my guess right now. But you're doing very, very well on that if you did it that. And I'm still of the mind. I think it's still viable at this level. Probably better to add at this level, but definitely very good. Okay, let's see. Would you short Nike NKE here? Boy, that's a good question. Let me take a look at Nike real quick and see. Come on. Sometimes it doesn't. All right. NKE. Okay. Slow response on my machine. Hold on. There we go. NKE. Nike. Let's see if I can. I probably wouldn't be a short on Nike right now, but let's take a look at it just so we can see it here. There we go. All right, here's Nike. What I shorted here? Well, it did drop below the 200-day moving average, so that's definitely negative on it, but it's in a consolidation, and it's an upward trend of a consolidation. I wouldn't short it here, but it is losing strength. I wouldn't short this one because it could turn and move higher. It is actually moving. It is actually moving higher right now out of this. It is moving out of this base. It got support right at the bottom of the base, and it's coming up. So I would not short this. This is probably going to move higher. What I would like to take a look at is compare it with a stock that I own currently called On. I want to see if there's a comparison here. I'm going to look basically since May with Nike versus On. And they did have some obviously bad news today with their earnings. So let me pull up the comparison between On and Nike. There we go. All right. So here is the comparison between Nike and a stock that I own. Now you can see they're both in an upward trend. Nike since May is down overall. It's down about 10%, whereas On is about same. I've just recently bought On, and I don't know. I may trim it. I definitely have profits on it, and I kind of want to see what's going on there. Let's look at that. Yeah. Okay. So this is On. This is On, and I definitely think it's getting some strength. I think On basically is going to be pretty much clear until it gets to about 35, and I definitely see an upward trend here. So what I would probably do with Nike, I wouldn't short it, but I would consider possibly not buying it and buying a stock like On, which is the Swiss sneaker maker, instead. I think that might be a better way to go. All right, let's talk to Rivian. Okay, that's interesting. Let's look at Rivian. I haven't really looked at Rivian all that much, RIVN. is Rivian. Boy, that's all over the place. Let me see if I can kind of get an idea. Yeah, in general. Okay, so if we go back here, basically about 18 months, you're going to see this chart, and it's, you know, obviously I think we may have bottomed, but I don't think that Rivian, it doesn't look like it's broken its downward trend. It looks like it's still in a downward trend. So I'd be very, very careful here. I mean, it is up to 1601, but I don't think this is buyable. I wouldn't be a buyer for Rivian at this point. Yeah, I just wouldn't be a buyer on this one for Rivian. It looks like it's fading, and it looks like it's moving lower. I think the one you want, you know, if you're going to be in the EV space, I think you really have to be. There's really only one EV maker that I think you can really be in, and that's of course Tesla. So I would be, I would not, if I had Rivian, I would consider possibly putting in a stop loss, maybe at 1449. It's currently selling at 1601, but I think this is probably going to go lower. That's my guess. Rivian is probably going to go lower. Yeah. Open is doing good. Any comments? All right. Well, let's look at Open. Let's see if it's doing good or not. Not so sure. Well, it's doing okay. Yeah. Open Door Technologies. You know, I would be really worried about this one too. I mean, from a these are the iBuyers. I don't know. I don't know why the stock is doing well. Why? Because, well, they're holding a lot of inventory. They bought a lot of houses, and they're having to sell them for less than they bought them for. So, I can't. I mean, the chart looks fairly good, but I couldn't be a buyer of Open Technologies. I just don't think it's. I just don't think it's working that well. So I would be real careful with Open. All right, so let's take a look at. All right, I'm going to look at some more of on TikTok here. Let's see. Okay, well. Okay, think of, oh, Lucid. Lucid is a better play. I don't think Lucid's a better play either. I think Tesla's the only one to own, to be honest with you. I know that people, are more interested in Lucid because they're trying to buy more shares. But I don't go with that. I don't think that really any of the EV makers. The number one EV maker, of course, is Tesla, but the number two EV maker is Volkswagen. So, I don't think that you could buy. I don't think they're that viable. This is Lucid, and as you can see, it is not a great chart. It is going south. I mean, so Lucid, I just don't like to buy a chart like this. If you're buying a chart like this and it's going lower, I don't think that that's the way to go. I don't think that's the way to go. So I would not be buying Lucid either. I would absolutely not be buying Lucid. All right, let's look at Snow. Now, Snow is one that I possibly would buy. And let's kind of look at it real quick. SNOW. And there we go. Snow. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. This is very heavily owned by institutions. As you can see, it's been in a downward trend, and then it bounced basically at the end of April here, moved back up, and then it kind of bounced along here. I would consider possibly buying Snow if it moved above about 190. That's sort of where I would be looking to buy it. Right now, though, it is not really a buy. I don't think this one is a buy. Let me look at the other charts here for Snow to kind of get an idea of if it is a buy or not. And looking at the All right, this is the chart for Snowflake, and definitely has been making, it definitely came off the bottom here, kind of bottomed at about 135. It's above the 200-day moving average. I like that. I like the fact that we have the golden cross on it, which means that the 50-day line moves above the 200-day line. That's bullish. 83 relative strength, so this is looking fairly good. I like this one, but I probably will not buy Snowflake. I probably will not buy Snowflake only because I think there's just some better options out there other than Snowflake. But it does look fairly decent, and you know, definitely in something that you want to buy. Now, here's the thing about Snowflake: it's in this consolidation. This is the low part of it, and this is the high part of it. So almost at the top of the consolidation. So really, I want to see it move above about 200 before I would be as interested in buying it. So really not all that interested in buying it here. Okay, we'll probably have last few questions here. Okay, Jim, here we go. Do you use other indicators such as the MACD? Yeah, I do, absolutely. But I like the moving averages better. They're more reliable. I can show you the MACD. I can show you that on my chart here. We just pull that up here really quick. Right. All right. Yeah, I absolutely do use the MACD. Let's kind of put that. Let's get that in here. There we go. This is the MACD. So you can see it. This is the MACD, and then this is the RSI that we're looking at here. We're looking at Snowflake here, but let's look at Tesla. Yeah, there we go. And this kind of gives you the gives you both of them. This is the MACD down here, and the RSI. Now this is a little bit. It's coming down. It was oversold. This is Tesla, but it's now coming down to its oversold position. It was overbought, and now it's coming down. So this one does, you know. This is why I think that we have a little bit more to go on Tesla up here at about 313, but I'm going to start taking profits, I believe, in Tesla. I'm up fairly well on Tesla, but I'm going to start taking profits because I do think that we may get some resistance right here at about 300, 310. That doesn't mean that long term I'm not going to own it. I definitely am, but it's starting to show a little bit of a, especially on the MACD, it's starting a little bit of a less, you know, less pressure on the upward end. So that's, yes, I do use the MACD and the RSI ratings. This also shows earnings. Earnings were on the 19th, so that kind of gives you a look see at that. All right. Oh, can you pull up the MACD on Apple? Sure, absolutely. Let's see. That's well, I mean, yeah. This is let's put the MACD in more focus here. I'm gonna put the relative strength up there. Okay, so the MACD, yeah, I mean, it definitely is moving. It's moving higher, but you know, I don't know. I don't put a whole lot of faith in the MACD. I like some of the other indicators better. I like the indexes better. I know it sounds a little bit more more pedestrian, but if you look at the indicators on the averages on Apple, and this is Apple, you can see it's just really going right up the 20-day line, which is excellent. See how it's sticking to that 20-day line? And so that's really the indicator I look at. If it tests that 20-day line and it moves down to the 50-day, that's when I'm a little bit concerned. I think it may go lower. But right now, Apple is very, very healthy in terms on the index lines. This is the MACD here. So yeah, I mean, definitely look at it. Definitely look at it going higher. I think, overall, Apple is probably going to move higher because I do think that the money is coming back into the market, and Apple is one of the main components. Apple is one of the main components of the market, and so that's really a that's definitely really something that you ought to look at. But I definitely think Apple is looking really good. Where I'm going to probably be moving, and I want to show you a chart, a very volatile chart, one that I started investing in basically just really this week, and that's AI. And I've made money in this one before. My strategy on this one basically is to buy it, ride it up, put the stop loss in, and then dump it. And that's this stock here. AI. Let me just kind of put it into there we go. Let me show you. There we go. Let's kind of pull it out here a little bit, give you an idea of this one. This is C3 AI. Basically I started buying it, really right here when it's made its move here. I definitely think we're going to see this one move higher. Probably we've got a little bit of resistance at 37. So I'm probably going to put my stop loss really at the bottom of that candle right there, and at about 35.60, and ride this one up. But I definitely think this is this is definitely going to move higher. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let's see. How about this is a let's see. Okay, unusual activity. Oh, interesting. Calls for mid-July total. That's interesting. Thank you very much. Unusual. Okay. Yeah, that's really interesting. Let's take a look at my at my Discord feed here. Let me show you this one. I'll show everybody this. And by the way, that we do have a Discord room available, and that is, yeah, there we go. And so let's take a look at it. It says, look, unusual whale activity. Interesting. So it looks like there's buys on Apple and Citi. It's interesting. So Apple definitely unusual. Whales noted a large volume of 200 calls for mid-July. That's really interesting. Okay, so people really like Apple. That's interesting. Okay, well, thank you very much for that. That's great information. So coming up, we might want to look at Apple as basically as they've been saying, we might look at Apple. Interesting, very interesting. Okay. All right. So, yes, back to NRSI. And yes, absolutely, I do. Okay, we did an Apple. Okay, so definitely looking at. Thank you for that. Thank you for that information. It does look like the number of calls. It looks like number of calls have been bought on Apple. So it definitely looks like it's in play. I want to take a look at my other charts here for Apple to see if I can find anything that's kind of unusual for Apple. Go to the next. Yeah, here's Apple. I'm looking at, definitely staying above the 10-day line, so that's good. Good volume. Definitely has the golden cross. That's excellent, and this options buying. So yeah, I mean, we may be in a situation here where something is, somebody's coming in with information on Apple. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, this is Walmart. Very interesting. Okay. Insider trading. Okay. Sales. Okay. So that's very interesting. Thank you very much for this, by the way. This is great stuff. Insider trading. It doesn't look like the the Waltons are selling Apple. That's really interesting. Okay, let's look at Walmart. I definitely think we're coming into a period of a lot of weakness in retail. So let's look at Walmart, WMT. Let's get that to move. There we go. So this is Walmart. So this is Walmart, interesting, and definitely it's in an upward trend, but a lot of selling by insiders. Interesting. Downward trending RSI, 78. Very interesting. Well, thank you for that. That's interesting. That's interesting news. I don't know if that's actionable right now, but definitely do something on that. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Kind of a short show today. I'm trying to get used to using my new software here. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow at 5. And until the time, if you could, I always ask if you could like the show. That really helps us out very, very much. If you could smash that like button, it really helps. Not the small one, of course, but the big one. So smash that like button. And subscribe to our free action trade alerts at www.dallastradingfloor.com. I'll be back tomorrow at 5. Happy trading, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow at 5.